Hello and welcome to my channel Florist Patch. I am Sandrine Moji and today I'm going to show you the colors I would use to paint two blue flowers in my own garden. So we're going to do a forget-me-not and we're going to do a viola. It's a field trip video, so we're outside in a garden. It's early May, but it's a beautiful, really hot day. So it's an ideal day to sit in the garden and do some painting. The first flower I'm going to do is the forget-me-not. It's one of my favorite flowers at this time of year and I like it to serve seed all over the garden. Forget-me-nots are a very sort of sky blue and for them I'm going to use a blue I don't use that often, which is Cerulean Blue. The reason I don't use it that often is because it's not as transparent as the other colors on my palette. But it's perfect for forget-me-not because forget-me-nots have got that sort of slightly chalky appearance anyway, so it's sort of a milky pale blue. So Cerulean Blue is this blue, and in some of the petals I'm going to use that pure, but in some other ones I'm going to use just a touch of permanent rose in them as well. And that will give me a blue which is this kind of blue, which is quite good for forget-me-nots. So when I paint the little flowers, I've got this mix ready. This is just, today I'm not going to go for full-blown botanical studies, I'm just going for quick little studies, sitting in the grass. Some with pale cerulean, some with a touch of permanent rose. And that's enough. The third flower I'm going to mix for today is the blue viola. I bought this little basket with violas and phlox and erysimum in it, and I thought the colors of these violas were really nice. So I'm going to do some quick color sketches to show you which colors I would use. If there are any left, that's it. Now for the viola, I can use French Ultramarine because violas are very velvety. Look at that. It's the most beautiful blue on my palette. It's transparent, it's a very saturated pigment, it's non-toxic. And it's light fast as well, it won't fade in the light. The only thing without it that sometimes is not particularly helpful is that it granulates, it gives a lot of texture. So sometimes when you want a really smooth flower, it's not good for that. But with velvety flowers like pansies and violas, it's perfect. So that's going to be the blue I'm going to use. And I'm also going to use Quinacridone Violet, which is a Daniel Smith color. If you don't have that, any sort of magenta, permanent magenta, it's a quinacridone pigment, it would be the same one. It's just the quinacridone violet is very saturated, it's a color I quite like. And it's a little bit darker also than a magenta, although very intense, so it will make a really nice mix. And together, they're going to make that kind of purple. Or if you add more of the magenta, it goes more towards this color. Or to a really nice dark purple. And if you add more French Ultramarine, it's a bluer color. So all these colors, all this range of blues and purples would be really good for any type of viola. It's really viola color. Now usually the back two petals on a viola are darker than the front ones. So I'm just going to do a dark wash here. And then I'm going to leave that to dry, and I'm going to do a slightly bluer, lighter wash on the three front petals. can see it's a really nice dark velvety bluey purple. So the first wash is dried, and I don't know if you can see that very well here, but because of the granulation in the French ultramarine, it also separates when mixed with other pigments. So some of the wash I've done, although it was very much a flat wash, I added a bit more paint here, but it was almost flat. Some is more purple, some is more magenta, and that's exactly what I want for a pansy, because you always see some colors shining through others, and that color does it on its own. And then for the front petal, I want a slightly bluer paler wash. Same mix, different proportions. More ultramarine, less Quinacridone violet. The pigeon is having a fit over there. It's a bit dangerous. He's not far from right above my head. I'm under the tree. I don't feel very safe. So I'm lifting a few highlights while it's still wet. And then a tiny blob of transparent yellow in the center, which hopefully will spread nicely wet in wet. So, to recap, I'm now in the studio and I've written down the names of the colours that I've used. For the Forget-Me-Not, I've used Cerulean Blue and Permanent Rose, and mixes in different proportion to give different shades of blue. Permanent Rose is really the only pink you can use. All the other pinks would fade. So Permanent Rose is the only available pink, and if you're a flower painter you do need a pink, because watering down reds just won't be pink enough. I found the best Permanent Rose is the Daler-Rowney one, because it's just a little bit pinker than the other pinks, and if you're going to have a pink you might as well go all the way pink. And then the yellow in the center of the flowers, I used Permanent Yellow, which is another Daler-Rowney color that I really like, and these three together mixed give me a shadow color which is quite delicate enough for the Forget-Me-Not. And in the garden I didn't use any shadow layer because it was just a one wash painting. But if I were to use this study to do a fully blown botanical painting, I would first paint the shadows like I showed in my other videos, and then I would mix these colors in various proportions for the top layers. For the Viola, I used French Ultramarine, which granulates a little bit and gives a nice texture. Quinacridone Violet, that they're both Daniel Smith colours, and I've mixed them in different proportions to make varied shades of blues and purples. And in the centre I use Nickel Azure Yellow, which is also a Daniel Smith colour, and it's sometimes called transparent yellow in other brands, or even translucent yellow. And mixing the blue, the red and the yellow, I've mixed the shadow colour, which is this grey here, which is a lot more robust than the grey I used for the Forget-Me-Not, because I need a more velvety, thicker texture for the Viola. I will write all the colours in the text box underneath the video so you can have a proper look at them, and I will give alternatives as well. Usually when you use a specific pigment in a brand, other brands use that pigment in their colour as well, they just call it something different. So I will put a few alternatives in the text box. That's it for today. Thank you for spending a moment in the garden with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It takes my video up in the charts and it really helps me. And I'll see you soon in another video. Bye!